Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Llama Show. I'm the Big Llama. Hey, on this episode today, we're going to talk about the Nakamichi Shockwafe 9.24. Should you buy it? This is just a layman's review of this system. Stay tuned. Check it out.
It's SINA. She ruckus. Deadbeat. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You ain't a killer boy, stop. I hear you yelling stacks on deck.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to review the Nakamichi Shockwafe 9.24. Now, what I mean by review, I'm just going to give you my perspective on this system. I just purchased it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and what I can tell you is that it's amazing. But let's take a look at a couple things, and let's just talk about the system itself. That way, you can get a perspective from somebody who's just a regular guy who likes movies and enjoys movies and bought this system to sort of compensate for the ability, because I can't go to the movies. So let's take a look at a couple things. First of all, before I start, I want to tell them and make sure everybody knows I've not been endorsed by Nakamichi. They're not sending me any money. It's not a paid advertisement. I basically I love this system. So I wanted to sit down and sort of tell you a little bit about it and give you a quick run whether or not you should buy it. Again, that's just my opinion. You take your own word for it. Plenty of sites that have research, plenty of sites that have information about the Nakamichi and the things that it brings, but that's my disclaimer. I'm not getting paid for this. I just wanted to tell you guys how much I enjoy the Nakamichi. All right, so first things first, the system itself, 9.24. It's 9 speakers in the front. That's 9 speakers on the soundbar itself, and I'll enter a picture here of the soundbar where I have it set up on my TV. I have a 80-inch TV, and I have the soundbar down at the bottom, so this just perfectly compensates for it. 2 is the two, I think 10 or 11-inch subwoofers, 2 of them, which is amazing. I mean, the bass and the sound is something that's just next level. And it's not just loud for the sake of being loud. It's clear. It has clarity, it has deep bass, and it has meaningful bass. And what I mean by that is just not noisy. So that's why the 2 subwoofers are amazing. And then there's 4 additional satellite speakers that come with it. And fortunately for me, I have a little bit of room for them. But one of them I have is a dipole. I guess it's two connected into one, sort of side by side, but it still bounces off pretty good. And then on the left hand side, I've got the 2 true surrounds separated. I have a rear channel and a side channel. So again, one thing that I did, and just so again, I'm not an audiophile. I don't know about sound quality. I've never owned a Bose system that was expensive or anything like that. I just basically bought this because after all of the reviews, I wanted to buy something that was really, really good. I wanted to buy a component system that had a separate receiver, and I just found that it was just so many options. It was difficult to sort of narrow down what it was I wanted. So what I did was I did a lot of research, and by research meaning I watched a ton of YouTube videos, and every time I looked at the Nakamichi, and I ran into it by accident, every time I saw it, it was every reviewer was gushing about the sound and how loud it was, and for its price point, which to me was a little bit pricey at $1,300 to $1,400, but was way cheaper than the other options. So again, for me, it was price point, and what do I get for that price point? And I was not disappointed, not at all. So I have this quick video that I was watching that basically tells you where to place the speakers, but it gives you an idea of how to set up the Nakamichi. And it's the same thing that I have in my house. They have a sound bar towards the front, the 2 subwoofers on each side, and that does give that deep bass and that rumble. There's the side surround speakers, which give it the Dolby Atmos look, and then you've got the rears. The stands I had to buy myself, and they weren't that expensive. They were about $30 for a set of 2. So again, that was all the way it was. So now what Nakamichi does is it sort of takes the guesswork out of how to place the system. There's these diagrams, and again, this video that's playing right now really just talks about where you would put them, and depending on the living room and the situation. But I can tell you that it's pretty dummy proof. I'm not the smart guy who knows everything about electronics. I know enough to get by, and it helped me out. I mean, their diagrams and everything. Now, the one complaint I did see online, a lot of it, was about the remote. The remote itself is a little bit intimidating. It has a lot of buttons and things, but what I've figured out is less is more. If you don't tinker with it too much, right, it's already got some pretty good presets. You can turn up the rear speakers, you can turn up the side speakers, you can increase the level on the subwoofer, and you can also turn it down, which I had to turn it down at night. And then the center channel. The center channel is the one thing that I'm telling you is the difference maker here. The center channel gives you a nice, great flat sound, and I know that might sound bad, but trust me, when the scenes are loud and you have all this action happening, you can hear clearly the dialogue, and you can hear the different things that are happening. Again, I am not exaggerating when I tell you about this system, that it is something amazing. Let me just switch out of here so we're not looking at that video the whole time. But again, the Nakamichi system, the Shockwave 9.24, here's a couple of things that I've noticed, right? Is the name. When you're buying a surround sound system, when you're buying something, your sort of name is something that you're really sort of into, especially if you're going to drop that much coin on this thing. So for me, the Nakamichi name was weird because I only remember them like in the 80s with tape decks. But that's it. And that threw me off. And so I did, that's what forced me to do a lot of research. The other thing that throws me off is that it's a soundbar, and it claims to have Dolby Atmos, and it claims to have all this spatial recognition. It has drivers and things in it. And what I can tell you is, again, I am just a regular dude who loves movies, and this system delivered. It delivered for me big time. I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I spent the cash for it, because we watched a couple of movies. We watched Ready Player One, and there's that opening sequence where there's like a car chase that has nothing but just pure sound. And when I tell you that you can hear Kong on the right, you can hear a car over here, you can hear the coins dropping, it is just an immersive experience. I also put in, I just bought Top Gun on 4K and put that in. Now, mind you, I was just testing it. I wasn't trying to watch the movie. I ended up watching about 45 minutes of that movie just because the sound and the immersion that was happening. I bought it and thinking, okay, I'll watch it at some point, but the sound takes you to a different place. The one thing I had to do, and this is a shameful admission here, is I had to convince my wife that this was a worthwhile investment. So the tough task and the thing I had to do was play something for her that she would find enjoyable, and that she would find that it would be something that was impressive. And what did I find? On Disney Plus, Hamilton is streaming in Dolby Atmos. When you think of Hamilton, it's the play. I thought for sure it was going to sound ridiculous, and I was shocked. In fact, my wife and I sat there. It was late night, and we sat there and we watched Hamilton for about an hour and 20 minutes. And we were just enthralled. And it's, again, I'll go back to the center channel. The center channel has such a great, crisp sound that the characters seem like they were sitting right in front of you, singing to you. And then when the chorus and the rest of the singers came in, it just filled the room. And the music and the bass hit, I'm telling you, Something that was amazing. And I looked over at my wife and I was like, see, is it worth it? And she shook her head. Yes, of course it was worth it. It was a great thing. The one thing that would amaze me was when the audience, if you've seen Hamilton, and the audience sort of cheers and claps. It's like being in a Broadway theater. It's just amazing. Listen, I can't gush enough about this system. Again, this is just my perspective, a movie lover's perspective. I am sure that there are other systems that, with components and everything else, that are probably better. But for the money and for the ease of setup, for the value and the bang for your buck, you can't go wrong with the Shockwave. And that's just my opinion. Shockwave 9.24 is what I bought. It comes, I believe, in 7.22, and I think it comes with one subwoofer. There's a bunch of different options. I think it's at Best Buy, Amazon. Again, the Big Llama recommends it. I would suggest you guys check it out. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description on where I bought it and some of the specs. But again, do your research, do your homework, make sure that your house is set up for it, and do what I did. I just watched every single YouTube video I can find on the Shockwave, and it made sense to me. So anyway, that's my review on the Nakamichi Shockwafe. Definitely recommend it. It's an awesome system. If you love movies and you can't get to the movies and you want that IMAX type experience, this is the system for you. And again, disclaimer, I don't get paid for this. Nakamichi is not knocking on my door, but if you are watching Nakamichi, yeah, I could use a check or two. But anyway, that's my review. Hope you liked it. The answer to the question, should you buy a Nakamichi Shockwave 9.24? Yes, and yes. And if you want to annoy your wife, yes. If you want that movie theater sound in your home, yes. So again, this is the Big Llama Show. Thank you for watching. If you agree with me or you have one, hit me up in the comments. I'd like to hear what you think or what your thoughts are. Once again, every system is not without its flaws. This one certainly has a couple of flaws, but trust me, the good outweighs the bad in this one, and the setup cannot be easier. So again, that's my recommendation. Thank you for watching. Thank you for choosing the Big Llama Show. Peace out.
Yeah, I tell her, baby, you're the one for me. Never two unless you telling me you feel it too.